afternoon and welcome to State Newsfile. I'm Kellyanne Roberts. Troy Durrell will have sports coming up, but first, let's check in with Angela Stewart with the weather.
Yeah, Kelly, we had an amazing day today. We actually reached a high of 3 degrees. The sun was out, it was shining, it was perfect. On my way to get my afternoon coffee, actually, I was sweating because it was so beautiful. Interesting fact, actually, this time last year, January 26, 2016, the high was double digits, 10 degrees. But to top that, the record high actually was back in 2003 of 14 degrees. So impressive. But as you move on to the rest of the week and to kick off your weekend, we can only hope that the sun will stay with us. Fingers crossed. Anything is better than minus 20, minus 30 in my opinion. But I will have that full forecast for you coming up in just a bit. Kelly?
Look forward to it, Angela. Troy, did you know it's Vince Carter's birthday today, the former Raptors basketball star?
I didn't actually, but I do have some Trojans highlights that I can get to later, so we'll get to that later on.
Sounds good. First, let's have a look at today's top stories. The flames have finally been contained at the Simons Valley Ranch, where a massive fire broke out early this morning. Both NMAX and ATCO Gas were at the scene to shut off all utilities nearby. As Ali Kovacevic reports, the fire was a challenge for the fire crews to control.
Smoke was incredible, it was insane.
Fire broke out early this morning at the Simons Valley Ranch Farmers Market. The Calgary Fire Department appeared just minutes after the call, but the fire was already out of control. A second alarm was called, but the businesses could not be saved.
And my heart goes out to the 37 different vendors that lost everything, and the owners, and it is devastating. And I got a call from the owner, and he said, "Joe, don't worry, we're going to rebuild this and make it even better in a stronger community."
By 9 o'clock, people were shocked at the amount of smoke coming out of the debris. Police crews were on scene as well, making sure the locals stayed at a safe distance.
The roads were all closed off. People were coming randomly, taking pictures.
More than 103 buses were delayed as a result of the fire. Nobody knows if anyone was in the building when the fire erupted, and the cause of the fire is also unknown. Councillor Maglioka says the owners are also talking about rebuilding, but for now, he's not sure what will happen.
I don't know what's going to happen in the short term. Well, I know that the fire department's going to be here for the next couple of days, just watching for hotspots. And, we let them do their job, and whatever else they have to do, they'll do. And after that, hopefully, I'm going to work due diligent with the developer, getting permits and doing everything, and working closely with the owners, and we'll move forward from there.
Crews were quick to spray out the air around the scene so the flame wouldn't spread to other areas of the farm.
As you can see, the flames on the outside have been taken care of, but on the inside, fire still needs to be put out. For State Newsfile, I'm Ali Kovacevic.
As the Garland trial continues, more chilling details are being released about the man accused of the triple murder. Douglas Garland is charged with the murders of Kathy and Alvin Lickness and their 5-year-old grandson Nathan O'Brien. Kristen Fong is covering the case from court. Kristen, you were sitting in on the testimony today. Do you know what happened?
Today's trial continued with defense Kim Ross questioning primary forensic investigator Constable Ian Oxton. Oxton was the lead investigator at both the Lickness home and Garland's property. Multiple items were seized from an outbuilding on Garland's property, including a hacksaw, handcuffs, and needles. Ross asked many questions about fingerprint testing done on the items found, and Oxton replied that no testing was done to multiple items. Ross suggested there was no way to find out who owned these items, who put them there, or how long they've been there, which Oxton agreed with. A burnt circuit board was found in a fire pit on Garland's property. Forensic hardware engineer Kimberly Warren says she determined it was likely from a Toyota key fob. A Toyota Tundra was found in the driveway of the Lickness home after their disappearance. Calgary Police Sergeant Sarah Robeson helped process Garland's Ford F-150 truck. She tested the driver's seat, steering wheel, driver's side door, and trailer hitch receiver, where she found positive results for blood. Robeson used Blue Star presumptive testing for blood, and results were immediate. The trial is scheduled to last 5 weeks.
Fong reporting from the Calgary Court Center. In elementary school, 66% of girls say they are good at math, but by high school, that number drops to 18%. Students at SAIT were able to learn from women who have pursued careers in math and science at the Women in STEM and Trades workshop. Allison McKinnon has more on how the women of applied research and innovation are trying to help.
second program, so my petroleum engineering technology program, I was not the only female. There was 6 of us out of my class of 32. Actually, and a lot of us were in the higher grades as well.
Stats Canada found only 39% of female graduates receive a science, technology, engineering, or math degree, otherwise known as STEM. Studies show although many female students find these programs fun, they lack the confidence in their skills to pursue them.
The women can't do it. They can't do engineering, math, and science and all that. I think mostly is the culture is why women don't go into science and engineering background so much. It's always been a man's world.
There isn't an exact answer as to why women don't go into STEM courses, but the women of Eris are trying to empower those who are. This event gave students the opportunity to hear firsthand from Indigenous women who have graduated from SAIT in STEM fields.
I feel like women are entering the sciences and technology a lot more readily than they used to be. However, having said that, when you still talk to people like one of the women who is here tonight who's in piping, she's the only woman in her class and she's in her 20s.
Over the past few years, programs like Girls Learn Code have become popular, teaching computer coding skills.
You might not have the opportunity to learn computer science if your high school doesn't offer it, and it's not even required for high school graduation as a science credit. So I think that if it was, that would be a really good tool to help expose girls.
Eris is hoping by putting on events that educate women about opportunities within SAIT, they'll empower another generation of STEM women.
I think that the trades and the technology positions, there's still a ways to go in making sure that women feel like that's an option and a path for them.
For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Allison McKinnon.
The deterioration of Alberta's financial position could have been avoidable, says a study done by the Fraser Institute in Calgary. The study indicates the current economic situation cannot be blamed solely on oil prices. Between 2004 and 2016, program spending in Alberta grew at an annual average rate just over 7%, while government revenues increased by nearly 5% a year. During that time, the study also found that spending increased significantly faster than the rate of population growth and inflation of almost 4.5%. Alberta could have posted a smaller budget surplus for this year if successive governments had kept program spending increases in line with population growth and inflation. The province is expecting a deficit of $10.8 billion for 2017. The government's plan is to balance the books by 2014. Although the economy seems to be improving, it could take some time for the housing sector to bounce back. The unemployment rate in Calgary is just over 10%, which is the worst among 33 metropolitan areas in Canada. Many of the jobs lost were in the oil and gas sector. In 2016, many people lost their jobs, and in some cases, the homes because of the economy, causing some first-time buyers to be hesitant to make offers.
I've been laid off for
I
8
said
months,
2014,
so we're
not
putting it on hold, but just got a job, and once my probation's up, I'll start looking.
Some Calgarians thought the economic downturn would save them money on more expensive homes, but instead, realtors say the savings were minimal. Camping luxuriously, road tripping cross-country, or living on a dime. The Calgary RV Show is back at the BMO Centre for its 48th year, but in Alberta's economy, are people still inclined to buy? Cassandra Stefanik reports.
The 48th annual Calgary RV Expo and Sale is now open.
A trip to a resort or a theme park for a family of 4 can cost thousands of dollars. A drive through Alberta's Rocky Mountains may only cost a tank of gas and the pain of listening to Dad's playlist. Businesses looking to sell at the annual RV show at the Stampede Park are betting on the appeal of Alberta travel to continue bringing in customers.
Well, this year is a very creative year, and it's going to be a very aggressive year because everyone's worried about their positions, their job, their pay, their houses, their mortgages, and their cars. But I think Albertans still want to go camping regardless as to what the environment is looking like.
Well, last year we have even found that when the economy kind of goes down, that more people tend to go camping because it's a lot cheaper to go camping than fly your entire family to, say, Disneyland or Florida.
Travel Alberta says an estimated $3 million are spent every year on provincial tourism.
The RV show isn't just your grandparents' outing. It's a way for families affected by Alberta's uncertain economy to make memories without breaking the bank.
It will be an even cheaper outing this year as all of Canada's national parks have free admission to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday.
It does make for a cheaper way to travel. My daughter, when she was littler, we traveled to the east coast of Canada in an RV, and it saved us a lot of money. We were able to take her home with us, especially with a child. You don't have to be unpacking them and putting them in a new bed every night.
When so many vacation destinations are only a short drive away, RVing is an affordable alternative to a getaway. For State Newsfile, I'm Cassandra Stefanik.
It seems Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been on the defensive quite a bit during his most recent Canadian tour. Trudeau was in Calgary Tuesday, where he received conflicted reception for his stance on oil sands. Thousands lined up awaiting the chance to ask the PM a question, many regarding his recent comments about working towards phasing out fossil fuels. Trudeau said he misspoke, but added that you cannot separate what was good for the economy and what is good for the environment.
Yes, the responsibility of any Canadian Prime Minister is to get our resources to market, and yes, that includes our oil sands fossil fuels. We need to get those to market. I've also said that we need to do that in a responsible, sustainable way.
Trudeau held a town hall meeting in Saskatoon last night and will be at the University of Winnipeg tonight. One of the main sources of information is social media. A simple tweet, Facebook status, or Snapchat can reach thousands globally in a matter of minutes. So social media continues to grow as a platform for global communication. With over 900 million Twitter accounts and nearly 2 billion active Facebook users, it can be an effective way to reach large audiences at once. It has been influencing history. Regardless of who you are or what demographic you belong to, you can engage in any movement right through your phone.
We want to be the first one to something. We never want to be the only one eating at a restaurant, that sort of thing. And so social media sort of allows you to see that other people are, one, thinking the same way as you, but also, two, maybe might be going to a march or a protest or something like that, because you don't want to be the only one there. So it helps you inform what the general public is thinking, and then a lot of people base their decision on that.
Most recently, the Women's March gained global attention, and it all started with a tweet from Hawaii. Those are today's top stories. We'll have your full forecast for you after the break. But first, Angela Stewart has a look at what's going on around Calgary this week.
Banff Snow Days has a little something for everyone. This is a fabulous annual festival with tons of events happening all throughout Banff National Park. The second annual Winterfest in Calgary is bringing the spirit of Quebec's annual Winter Festival out west. The event kicks off with special guest speakers, dinner, and a drink menu. Cost is free. The Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra is putting on a show at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. This goes from January 27th to the 28th. Set in the spectacular surroundings of Lake Louise, the Ice Magic Festival is a world-class event with 20 years of history. It's date night, everybody. Put down your phones and try 3D Tinder. Try a little something out of your comfort zone, ages 24 to 35. Take your weekend to watch a jumping show. Spruce Meadows is putting on the January Classic for you and your family to warm up to the 2017 season.
The Quick Draw Animation Society is a nonprofit center for independent animators. They teach you how to make your own cartoons and to explore your imagination fully and freely. We're filled with animators who are passionate about their projects and here to support you.
The Alberta Spay Neuter Task Force is a registered charity that provides on-site, community-based animal wellness spay-neuter clinics. We thrive on providing love and care to as many companion animals as we could see over a weekend to help strengthen the animal-human bond. The Alberta Spay Neuter Task Force is always looking at recruiting new licensed veterinarians. You can visit our website at abtaskforce.org to donate or to sign up to volunteer.
Welcome back to State Newsfile. I just wanted to let everyone know, if you were looking to head up to COP for the Ice Carving Festival, unfortunately it has been canceled due to those drastic changes in temperature, but it will be rescheduled for as early as February. So right off the bat, you can see there is a high pressure system just off the coast of Vancouver. They do have a 30% chance of showers, which could be causing those moderate temperatures, but not too bad. We can see tons of sun across the board. Edmonton, 2 degrees, lots of sun, so that is really good. Moving across over to Winnipeg, 30% chance of flurries, so not too bad. Make sure you have that jacket handy though. Moving on over to the East Coast, up in St. John's, 30% chance of showers once again. Lots of cloud coverage, 30% chance of flurries down in Toronto, but there is some precipitation over the coast of Quebec. Hopefully that is not the case for the resorts though. Now would be a great time to grab your shades. Palm Springs is 14 and sunny. Barbados, 28 degrees and a little cloudy. Cancun, also 28 and partly cloudy. Do you have your hula skirt? Honolulu, 26 and a little cloudy. Orlando, 26 degrees. Las Vegas, 8 degrees and sunny. So as I said before, we did reach a high of 3 degrees. We had tons of sun today, so it was so nice out. We do have some wind coming in from the northwest at 20 kilometers an hour. We should clear down tonight to -6. As we move over to the Alberta map, up in the corner, Grand Prairie, 0 degrees and lots of sun. Tons of sun across the board, so that is awesome. Make sure you have those sunglasses handy. I do recommend on your drive to and from work because you might need them. Up north from us, Fort Mac, -1, lots of sun. Just north of us, Edmonton, 2 degrees. Once again, tons of sun. If you're looking to head up to Banff, mix of sun and clouds, so not terrible. Just south of us, Lethbridge, mix of sun and cloud, 2 degrees. Medicine Hat, 0. Moving over to our 5-day forecast tonight, we should clear down to -6, a few clouds, so do expect that. Tomorrow, a high of 3 degrees and mainly sunny. As you kick off your weekend, Saturday, we're almost getting up into those double digits. Sunday, 1 degree, low of -11. Troy Durrell will have your full sportscast for you coming up, but first, here is your ski report. Get out there and hit the slopes before it's too late. Big White has been machine groomed. The base is at 172 centimeters. They're not too cold either. They're sitting at -7 and sunny conditions. As for Nicosia, the slopes have also been machine groomed. The base is at 43 centimeters and -6 on the hills. Lake Louise has some variable conditions, so it shouldn't be too bad when you're shredding it up. The base is at 152 centimeters with -12. Sunshine Village is living up to its name with lots of sun. The hills have some fresh powder, and the base is at 140 centimeters. Panorama has some packed powder. The base is a little smaller at 58 centimeters. They're sitting at -8 for their Thursday afternoon. Whistler has been machine groomed. The base is small at 22 centimeters. Very warm, -1. Well, Troy, hopefully the word pathetic isn't used too much by the Flames head coach tonight.
Yeah, he wasn't too pleased with his team's effort last night, and he actually rejuggled the lines a little bit, putting Michael Frolik with Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan. But first, we're going to take a look at what's going on in Trojans land, and the men's Trojans hockey team is back in action this weekend after some time off to recharge the batteries. Newsfile's Jeff Slack knows more about the games last weekend. Jeff, what's the latest?
Troy, in the last time that SAIT played against the Nate Ooks, SAIT dominated and walked away with a 6-0 victory. Goaltender Bolton Poliat stopped all 34 shots he faced, and Colton McCarthy scored twice in the victory. The men are sitting in first place in the ACAC with a 15-3-2 record and will have a home with the Red Deer College Kings this weekend.
Forward to that, Jeff. How is the women's team doing?
Well, the women's team will have a crucial pair of games this weekend as if they want to clinch a playoff spot. The Trojans are sitting 6-12 on the season, and they'll be in Olds playing against the Broncos. If the Trojans manage to win both games, they'll solidify themselves the last playoff spot ahead of Olds. The ladies are coming off a tough 1-0 loss to the MacEwan University Griffins, where they fired 34 shots on goal.
Thanks, Jeff. That was Jeff Slack reporting live from the SAIT newsroom. The SAIT women's volleyball team is facing a tough loss on the court. Outside hitter Chantel Jonathan suffered a dislocated shoulder at their game on Friday and is now out for the season. Chelsea Tomasek has more.
Chantel Jonason is the solid wall on the outside of the volleyball court, but she's out for commission for the rest of the season with a dislocated left shoulder. Teammates say she's been dealing with shoulder problems for about a year, but this is the one that will set her back the most. Jonason is now waiting on surgery.
I think my first initial thought through my mind was getting back to it instead of like focusing on getting healthy, just getting back to the game. So that was my biggest thought.
It's going to be a while before she's back out on the court, but Jonason says now she's focused on getting better instead of setting any issues aside and not putting her injuries first.
But now that I'm focusing on myself and now I'm done playing volleyball, it's more about being done and trying to manage my mind to think that it's okay, even though it's been my entire life.
No athletic injury is to be taken lightly, and although the game is important and players are excited to get back at it, it's crucial to heal first to prevent further injury.
On that note, it would definitely start to take its toll and could cause problems later down the road, leading to more kind of joint problems, dealing with arthritis and that type of deal. So,
the team is hoping that rookie Erin Neufeld can fill her shoes until the end of the season. For State Newsfile, I'm Chelsea Tomasek.
The second place State men's basketball team is looking to continue their winning ways. The boys will take on their crosstown rivals from St. Mary's this weekend after splitting their last games last weekend with the Lethbridge Kodiaks, losing the first game in a nail-biter in overtime, and they followed that up with a 77-66 win the next day. The Trojans are 8-3 on the season, but have yet to be ranked in the top 15, even though they're only one game back of the first place Red Deer College Kings. While the men's team is looking to continue to push themselves up the standings, the women's team is looking to get back into the win column. The Trojans were swept in their weekend series by the undefeated Lethbridge College Kodiaks, suffering a couple tough losses, losing 85-49 and 76-32. The Trojans were missing star guards Alicia and Alexa Tan, who are scheduled to return this weekend when they face the St. Mary's University Lightning in a home-and-home series. The Trojans are 7-4 on the season. Make some noise for mental health is in its third year, and SAIT is just one of 17 schools in Alberta teaming up with the Canadian Mental Health Association. SAIT is promoting and encouraging mental health and wellness through interactive activities and Trojans games on campus. SAIT athletes and athletic staff are leading the charge in lots of physically and mentally stimulating events. Trojans reps are trying to spread the word that the physical well-being plays a huge part in mental health and wellness.
There is a healthy mind, healthy body sort of connection. With us being in athletics and recreation, we want to make sure that people know that there are outlets for them here, whether it is going to the gym, taking a yoga class, just encouraging them to be active as a way to take care of themselves a little bit during maybe these really busy times that are coming up for finals and getting ready for their careers.
I mentioned it earlier about all the Trojans games going on this weekend. Be sure to catch some of the action starting tonight at the Campus Center. Game time will be 7 p.m. The action continues all through the weekend with men's and women's basketball. All home games will be free for everyone to enjoy, so be sure to catch out the Trojans. Days after getting ripped apart by their head coach Glenn Gulletson, the Calgary Flames are looking to end off on a positive note just before the All-Star break. The Flames are in the nation's capital tonight for a date with the Ottawa Senators, who have been one of the hottest teams in the NHL. Calgary is looking to bounce back from 4-0 and 5-1 losses to Toronto and Montreal and put an end to that nasty 4-game losing streak. The Senators are coming off a 3-0 shutout win over the Washington Capitals, ending the Caps' 14-game point streak. The Calgary Hitmen are on the outside looking in at a playoff spot with 3 pivotal games this weekend. Trailing the Saskatoon Blades by 4 points for the final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. It won't be easy though, as the Hitmen get the CHL top-ranked Regina Pats at home Friday night. Then they'll travel to Cranbrook to face the Kootenay Ice and will make the trek home in the wee hours of the morning to face off the projected first overall NHL draft pick Nolan Patrick and the Brandon Wheat Kings. With the Super Bowl just 2 weeks away, football fans are gearing up for this year's final. The New England Patriots are making a return to the big game, led by star quarterback Tom Brady, while the surprising Atlanta Falcons are having a dream season off the backs of team MVP Matt Ryan. The game will kick off February 5th at 4:30 in Houston. Now, if fans need their football fix this week, the annual Pro Bowl featuring the NFL's best will be taking place on Sunday. That's a look at sports. Kelly, will you be watching the Super Bowl?
I don't know if I'll be watching the game, but I'll definitely be eating all that is in front of me.
Oh yeah, I will too.
As Angela mentioned earlier, temperatures are on the rise this weekend. But what does that mean for migraine sufferers? That story right after the break.
As if I'll be able to go.
The Cinderella Gown Project provides graduation dresses and accessories to high school graduates in need through generous donations. Will you pick up the wand? Visit our website to find out how you can help.
I have a lot of talents. I can eat a lot of pierogies. Grow like a pretty good beard for my age.
I play the ukulele.
I have many talents. But mind reading isn't one of them. Thinking of 9? 10. Not a number, eh?
Nope, can't do it.
If I want to hook up with someone, I ask first. Because sex without consent is sexual assault.
And nobody is a mind reader.
So ask first.
For most Albertans, a Chinook means warmer weather and a quick break from winter. But for some, it means a painful migraine is on its way. Megan Brennan reports on how migraine sufferers can look to the sky as a possible cause of their headaches.
Nearly half of all migraine sufferers are susceptible to Chinook-triggered headaches.
Might get really bad, but I've found techniques that help minimize them. So when I know a Chinook is coming, I have to take migraine pills to kind of subside it a little bit.
Doctors believe the drop in air pressure that comes with a Chinook creates a pain which slowly turns into a full-blown migraine. People who practice traditional Chinese medicine say air pressure is not the only causing factor, and pills aren't the only alternative.
Every organ in Chinese medicine is associated with an element. So the liver is associated with wood. So just like if we had a forest fire and the wind came along, the fire would get worse. So the winds can create an imbalance in the liver. And because it's the liver's job to purify and cleanse blood, we'll often get an obstruction in a meridian that creates the migraines because the wind is aggravating a condition in the body.
Traditional Chinese treatment for migraines aims to calm the liver by staying hydrated, allowing for the liver to purify blood faster. Chinooks can cause irritability, sleeplessness, and even stress in those who are affected, and whatever treatment they choose, they just want it to work.
Although research proving the existence of Chinook migraines and headaches in Calgary has only been developed within the last 15 years, treatments for headaches is rapidly evolving. For State Newsfile, I'm Megan Brennan.
We all know working out can be tough, and it's especially hard to find a gym buddy, but this lucky guy will never have to worry about finding someone to spot ever again.
Doing push-ups.
Troy, he kind of looks like you doing push-ups.
Oh, that's not even close. He can do way more push-ups than I can.
Maybe we'll have to do a push-up competition.
No.
I'd love to see that.
No, thank you. He'd beat me really badly.
Angela, the weather this weekend, is it supposed to be as nice as it was today?
We're hoping for double digits. We're fingers crossed.
All right. Well, that's Sports Newsfile this week. Thanks for tuning in.